Sierra, honestly, robotics, so not girlfriend material. The country club buzzed clinking glasses, forced laughter bouncing off the manicured lawns. My stomach dropped, hands trembled around a sweating glass of lemonade. He said it loud enough. Inside, I was screaming. Outside, I remained composed. A vibration pulled my attention. Device FDA approved, flashed across my watch. Progress, at least somewhere, ever felt invisible. Being judged? Then hit subscribe, you need to see how this plays out. Big karma coming and a reversal sweeter than any lemonade. You won't want to miss it. May 2001, Jenna's Sweet 16. The air hung thick with the scent of roses and privilege, a stark contrast to the cramped computer lab where I'd spent countless nights soldering circuits. Her present, a cherry-red convertible gleaming under the California sun. Mine. A polite, perfunctory good job for winning the state robotics competition, the trophy relegated to a dusty corner of the garage. The following Christmas, Jenna received a designer handbag she'd been eyeing, its supple leather a symbol of effortless chic. While they fawned over its craftsmanship, my MIT acceptance letter sat unopened on the kitchen counter, a quiet testament to years of relentless study and personal sacrifice. It's just so you, Mom chirped about the purse, as if my academic achievements were an embarrassing inconvenience. I swallowed, the words like shards of glass. I never mentioned the scholarship that covered tuition. Years later, at a tense family dinner after I'd secured Series A funding, Dad chuckled, "Sierra, honey, that's cute, but when are you going to find a real job?" He raised his glass to Jenna, newly engaged, celebrating her planned wedding. The sting was familiar yet sharper this time. It felt like a brand, seared into my soul. At least Jenna knows how to land a good provider, Mom added, a veiled jab at my perceived lack of feminine appeal. That was it. The final straw. I smiled, a practiced mask concealing the fury simmering beneath the surface. Cheers to that, I replied, already plotting my quiet, calculated revenge. And so the empire began. Brick by painstaking brick, line of code by tireless line of code. No trust fund, no safety net, just raw grit and a burning desire to prove them wrong. The first few years were brutal. Ramen dinners in a tiny, windowless apartment where the city's symphony of sirens played nightly. The building shuddered with the rumble of passing trains, each jolt a reminder of my precarious existence. The scent of stale takeout and desperation clung to the air, a constant companion in my solitary struggle. No vacations, no new clothes, no frivolous spending. Every penny was plowed back into the business, each sacrifice fueling my resolve. Then, the breakthrough. A revolutionary AI algorithm designed to optimize organ transplant matching. Suddenly, doors opened. Venture capitalists clamored for meetings. My small, scrappy team grew. We moved to a sleek office overlooking the bay, the city lights twinkling below like a promise fulfilled. No longer was it the city of dreams, it was the city I owned. One milestone, securing the FDA approval. Another, landing the massive contract with global health partners. And a third, surpassing the $100 million valuation mark. Each achievement was a silent scream, a middle finger raised to their doubt. Yet I kept them in the dark. The automatic payments continued, a silent benefactor supporting their comfortable lifestyle. It was a twisted game, a way to control the narrative, to dictate the terms of our relationship. No praise, no acknowledgement, no questions asked. Their ignorance was my power. The day Jenna announced her engagement to Luke, I almost revealed everything. He was a rising star in the tech world, someone I'd been trying to recruit for months. The irony was almost unbearable. During the engagement party, Luke, now tipsy, cornered me. "Sierra, I hear whispers about some medical marvel you're building. Is it true?" My heart hammered against my ribs. This was it, the potential unraveling of my carefully constructed facade. I forced a smile. "Just rumors, Luke, nothing for you to worry about." Not yet. The invitation arrived embossed, ivory card stock, RSVP required. Aunts, cousins, grandparents, the whole crew. Winter's family reunion celebrating 50 years. My parents wanted to mend fences, showcase Jenna's impending nuptials, and no doubt gauge the depth of my cute little business. I considered declining, I almost did. But the thought of their oblivious self-congratulations, their dismissive glances, fueled a familiar fire. No, I would attend. But on my terms. Weeks melted into a blur of calculated preparations. A new dress, understated elegance concealing a power suit underneath. A carefully curated team, briefed on every potential question, every veiled insult. I practiced my practice smile and prepared. Strategic silence. Controlled responses. Disarming charm. The day arrived, sun blazing, the air thick with anticipation. The sprawling estate was pristine, manicured lawns leading to a gleaming white mansion. Status loudly proclaimed. I pulled up in a Tesla, the license plate a subtle flex, AI for good. Inside, the scene was a swirl of pastel dresses and forced pleasantries. Aunt Karen rushed to greet me, squeezing my hand. Sierra, darling, you look amazing, don't let them get to you. I smiled, a genuine one this time. Wouldn't dream of it, Aunt Karen. My parents approached, their expressions a carefully constructed blend of warmth and apprehension. Sierra, so glad you could make it, Dad boomed, a little too loud. Mom's smile was tight. You look different. Successful, I replied, the word hanging in the air like a challenge. It must be the San Francisco air. They exchanged a quick glance, their obliviousness a palpable force field. I moved through the crowd, a shark in a sea of guppies, each interaction a subtle power play. Jenna, resplendent in white, approached, her expression a mix of curiosity and resentment. Sierra, you actually came, I'm surprised. Wouldn't miss it for the world, I replied, my smile unwavering. I still don't see what all the hype is about. You program computers or something? She asked, waving her hand dismissively. My fingers tightened on my champagne glass. Not yet. The final dismissive moment still echoed in my mind. Computers. I took a slow, deliberate sip, the bubbles doing nothing to soothe the knot in my stomach. Or something. Later, as dusk painted the sky in hues of orange and purple, the power flickered. The music stuttered, the lights dimmed, and then darkness. A collective groan rippled through the crowd. Dad, ever the fixer, puffed his chest, striding towards the fuse box. Probably just a blown fuse, he announced, his voice laced with false confidence. But it wasn't a fuse. The outage spread, plunging the entire house into inky blackness. Panic began to simmer. What's going on? Jenna shrieked, her voice shrill. Dad returned, his face grim. It's more complicated than that, seems we missed a payment. He avoided eye contact, Mom gasped. But the automatic payments. A tense silence descended, broken only by the chirping of crickets outside. I watched them, a strange sense of calm washing over me. This was it. Luke cleared his throat. Is everything all right, Mr. and Mrs. Winters? Dad stammered. Of course, Luke, just a minor inconvenience. Mom's face betrayed her. It's more than that, Luke, much more. The moment hung suspended, thick with unspoken truths. I took a deep breath, it was time. I calmly retrieved my phone, a spotlight cutting through the darkness. Perhaps I can shed some light on the situation, I said softly, tapping the FaceTime icon. Jenna scoffed. Seriously, Sierra, now. The phone rang, once, twice, then Luke's face filled the screen, confused. Sierra, what's up? Behind him, in a sterile white lab, my team worked diligently, bathed in the glow of monitors. I held the phone steady, making sure everyone could see. Luke, I believe you know my family, his brow furrowed. Yes, of course, what's going on? I just wanted to introduce you to the real Sierra Winters, I said smoothly, turning the camera to face the assembled guests. The one who single-handedly funds this little reunion. The camera slowly panned across the room. Luke's jaw dropped. His eyes widened. His face paled. Jenna's mouth hung open, a silent scream trapped in her throat. Dad's face flushed crimson, his eyes bulging. Mom's carefully constructed facade crumbled, replaced by a look of utter disbelief. Then the camera focused on the massive screen behind my team. The headline screamed, Winters Medical secures billion-dollar contract. Sierra, you, Luke finally managed, his voice barely a whisper. That's Dr. Winters to you, Luke, I corrected gently. And yes, I'm the founder and CEO of Winters Medical. We develop AI-powered medical devices that are currently saving thousands of lives globally. I met my father's gaze, a flicker of something akin to fear in his eyes. The cute little business you so readily dismissed, Jenna exploded. You lied to us all this time. I merely allowed you to believe what you wanted to believe, I replied, my voice unwavering. And as for the power outage, let's just say I decided to reallocate some funds. Priorities, you know. The silence was deafening. Aunt Karen stepped forward, her eyes shining with pride. Good for you, Sierra. The camera shook slightly as I lowered the phone. The power had shifted, the game had changed, and I finally was in control. How could you? Jenna's voice, shrill, cut through the stunned silence. We're family, I met her gaze, unflinching. Family doesn't belittle, dismiss, or use each other, Jenna. You laughed then, you're not laughing now. I saw Dad's face contort, a mixture of anger and something else, shame. This is about respect, I continued, directing my words to the room at large. Something I haven't felt from you in a long time. Internally, I felt a pang of sadness. Was this victory worth the destruction? But the years of dismissals hardened my resolve. Mom attempted a desperate maneuver. Sierra, darling, we always knew you were smart, just maybe not this smart. We just wanted what was best for you. Best for me meant marrying well, didn't it? Like Jenna, I raised a brow. I built my own best, Mom, without your help. The silence was my weapon now, a power move to let my words hang in the air. Dad, recovering his composure, tried a different tack. So, this winter's medical, any chance we could invest? He forced a smile, the entitlement dripping from his tone. You had your chance, I replied coolly. Several, in fact, the audacity, after years of dismissal, to now seek financial gain. The irony was almost comical. Consider this a closed funding round. Jenna, ever resourceful, attempted manipulation. Luke could really help you, Sierra. He knows everyone. She nudged him. Tell her, honey. Luke, visibly uncomfortable, shifted. Sierra, your work is impressive. I'd be happy to explore synergies. Synergies? I echoed, a cold smile playing on my lips. You mean leverage my success for your benefit? Thanks, but no thanks. I could almost hear the gears turning in their heads, plotting their next move. As for helping me, Luke, I think I've managed quite well on my own. The air crackled with unspoken accusations and simmering resentment. I raised my hand, silencing the impending storm. I'm setting boundaries now, I declared, my voice clear and firm. Automatic payments are gone. If you need something, ask, but don't expect anything. Mom spoke, her voice laced with fake sweetness. Well, we could use help with Jenna's wedding. I stood firm. That will be all on you. Then I delivered the line I'd waited years to say. Consider this my graduation gift. A collective gasp filled the void, heavier than the darkness. The need was so apparent. Graduation gift, Jenna spat, eyes narrowed. From what, surpassing your family in every conceivable way? I ignored the barb. Actually, I said, my voice dangerously calm, it's from Winters Estate LLC. A ripple of confusion crossed their faces. Legal terminology. Winters Estate, what's that? Dad asked, suspicion lacing his tone. It's the company that owns this house, Dad, I explained, watching their expressions morph from confusion to dawning horror. And the land it sits on, and the country club membership, and well, pretty much everything you value. I paused for effect. Including, I believe, a rather substantial loan secured against all of the above. Their faces registered shock. What loan? Mom stammered, her voice trembling. I explained, the one you took out to renovate the kitchen last year. I quietly purchased the note, of course. I didn't want some unsavory bank breathing down your necks. Their breaths hitched. I continued, it would be a shame if you couldn't pay. Luke, ever the pragmatist, spoke first. Sierra, that's incredibly shrewd. But why? Because, I said, meeting his gaze, respect isn't earned with empty promises or forced praise. It's earned with consequences. I turned back to my parents, their faces now masks of pure terror. I am now your lender, and I assure you I have very specific ideas about how those funds are to be used. You wouldn't, Dad breathed, his face ashen. I smiled, a genuine, albeit ruthless, smile. Wouldn't I? I already did. But where will we live? Mom whispered, her voice cracking. That, I said, my voice laced with steel, depends entirely on your behavior. The silence was deafening. The darkness felt heavier than before, pregnant with unspoken fears and shattered illusions. My power over them, complete and absolute, was now undeniable. Time blurred, attempts at reconnection trickled in. Jenna's saccharine calls, Dad's strained invitations. I declined, selectively. Boundaries hardened, a shield against their need. My apartment transformed. Sunlight replaced shadows, soft fabrics replaced cold steel. The scent of lavender and success filled the air. Looking back, the framed dollar bill on my desk isn't about the money. It's a constant reminder of the woman I am. Stronger, richer, and free. In the end, I chose worth over their validation. Done. Feel that? Now go build your empire and show them what you're worth. Share if this hit home. Revenge's sweet success story.